Chapter 1. You are the reason I became strong enough to lead the people. You are my heart and soul. Without you, there would be only darkness. From the personal journal of Queen Leilani the White. The icy waterfall did not distract Delon from performing his martial arts under its powerful cascade. The downward motion of the water helped wash away the stress and disappointment plaguing him after 3 long days of fruitless study in the great library of the Forbidden City. Exhaling, he stood straight to complete his last move. Delon lowered his head and let the pounding water hammer the knots from the stiff muscles in his shoulders as he reflected on the pile of reading he had left. Delon was certain something had gone wrong with the prophecy of return, a prophecy that foretold the reappearance of the spirit of Queen Leilani the White in another. She had ruled the lands of Altar in peace before the days of the usurper King Marcus the Red. But the elder of his order did not believe him when he expressed this concern years ago. The elder even said that he was merely young and impatient, insisting time would provide the answers. Still, the notion nagged at him. Something was not right. He knew it deep in his soul, but he could not find any way to prove it. Delon stepped out from under the waterfall and looked at the sky. The bright morning sun warmed his body instantly. The freezing water had felt wonderful while washing away his stress. But nothing could replace the heat of the dawn as it rejuvenated his soul. Quickly, he moved over to an outcropping of rocks where he enacted his best impression of a lizard. Glancing down at his heavily tattooed body, Delon felt content. It was hard to believe that he had come from being a street orphan to a warrior scholar. The effort had taken him over 300 years, but the challenging work paid off. He remembered his first few years as a child at the temple, learning to fight and focus the mind. Those skills had come easy and quickly to him. It was not long before he was one of the best fighters in his age group. Book learning, however, had been the challenge. He hated reading and studying. That was until an old history text about the Queen had piqued his interest. Afterward, he could not read enough. Studying was so enjoyable it became an addiction. He earned his first magical tattoo at the age of 10 because of that voracious appetite for tomes. It was a simple tattoo in the shape of a book on his left forearm, about the size of an egg. When activated, it allowed him to read or speak any language. The tattoo ink used was infused with dragon blood. This had transformed him, as it did with all monks, blessing him with not only permanent tattoo magic, but long life. Delon's mind and body settled into a lazy comfort until the sun reached a point when he knew classes for the children would be starting. He smiled at the thought. He would have a chance to see Lorana before losing himself in the books again. A few moments of conversation and a brief gaze at her face would renew his heart for the lonely task ahead. He frowned a little, thinking about the sizable age gap between them. But that did not matter. She was not a monk, only a neophyte of the way, so he could never marry her, at least according to monk law. Since he could not, any burden of being with her was relieved. They would remain only friends. He got up, ran to the other side of the small valley, climbed several 100 feet of sheer rock. His sun-heated skin welcomed the cooling winds. Delon freed his mind as his hands and feet found safe places to grip. It invigorated him to hang from the cliffs without safety ropes. The mountain itself towered over the valley floor. The monks chose this remote location for the Forbidden City long ago because of how difficult it was to reach, even for dragonkind. A smile curled his lips as he pictured Lorana's face in the morning sun. He loved the way it reflected like pure gold against her flowing blonde hair. The sweet sound of her soprano voice sent shivers up his spine whenever she spoke. Her ocean blue eyes sparkled with a warmth that touched his soul. The soft roundness of her cheekbones contrasted with the toned, fighting muscles of her body. His smile deepened. If I have one weakness, it is her.